because a cheater is a cheater is a cheater. It don't even matter social media, real life, work, grocery store, church, whatever. Certain people with certain patterns tend to operate the same way no matter what the realm or the element that they're in. Like whatever environment they're in, their personality comes out. That's just who they are. In any relationship, the first thing that's important is trust and communication and the ability for both parties to come to some sort of compromise or agreement for what works for them. That being said, because social media is so prevalent now, like what would we do if it went away? We use it for so many different things. It tends to get blamed for relationships. People will say, oh, this is your social media friends on there and they just gassing you up, or they're just saying this, or don't believe that. It's just social media. It's fake. It's not, though, right? And so I think we have to start identifying and go back and look towards whether or not this is actually this person's behavior or whether this is something that actually needs to be addressed. Now, I personally don't believe that social media ruins relationships. I believe that people ruin relationships. All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of You're Gonna Need a Drink for This. It is a Sexy After Kids Momcast. I am your host, Apple Daniels. I'm back in the building. You already know I'm with my girls, Lynette and Adrienne Nicole. How y'all doing, ladies? How's it going?
Good. We're surviving. We made it.
Everybody good? Everybody surviving?
We're great.
Awesome. Gonna ask y'all, what's in your cup tonight?
Well, in my handy dandy, like my black girl magic cup,
I do.
I have some sweet juice.
Huh.
That's what I got.
Juice with stuff in
With
it.
a little reposado something.
Okay.
As you should.
Lynette.
I'm with my water.
I swear to God, on one of these episodes, she gonna surprise me and be like, "Girl,
let me tell you about my day.
My Chardonnay."
Something. Well, y'all see me,
right?
I'm gonna get fancy like Adrienne and switch my glass one day, but it ain't gonna be today. So, it's red.
I'm about to get a glass specifically for this show.
I keep switching up, girl.
I have some. It's gonna happen because Lord, the topics we be on.
That wouldn't be a bad idea for a little
right.
For a little.
My glasses gotta match my outfit, y'all.
It really does.
And it does. And it does. Too cute. All right. Well, today's episode, child, listen, we are talking, does social media ruin relationships or does it reveal behavior patterns? I don't even know if I need, I always give the topic, then I give some random backstory or some little, but I just kind of feel like this one is just, listen, we just gonna jump right in. Lynette got the look on her face. So talk to me.
Well, now, so once upon a time, I was that person to where, because I got into the social media game a little late. I got into it. Well, I mean, I did the whole Black Planet, MySpace, blah, blah, blah back in the day. But
that's, you said Black Planet.
I did. But that was apples and oranges compared to where we are today, right? That was totally apples and oranges. So moving forward, here we are. I started Facebook in 2009. And again, the concept to me, it wasn't really that big of a deal. So had you asked me this some years ago, I'd have been like, it doesn't really matter if you are say posting your significant other or boo or whomever on social media, because for what, even when I was married, me and my husband were friends on Facebook, but we weren't in your face with it. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward, things have evolved, things have changed, social media has evolved, social media has changed. My honest opinion today is, do you have to splash your relationship on social media? No. Now, I do feel some sort of way though when it comes to being able to be like, if you have no kind of appearance on social media whatsoever, that's weird to me. I mean, I understand privacy. I don't understand secrecy, because the thing about it is it wouldn't matter as much. But see, people can be private and be like, okay, whatever, and be good with their situation. But you also have it to where people hide stuff on social media. So they won't be friends with you on social media talking about, well, I'm private and I don't want it to mess up nothing. Okay. Or they'll say, well, well, that shouldn't matter. That's whatever the case may be. To me, when people say stuff like, well, it shouldn't matter and they make a big thing of it, to me, that's kind of gaslighting. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of gaslighting to me because, again, you have people out there who don't want all their hoes to know each other. So, or they want to keep their options open. So they're just not going to put you as a friend on Facebook. Like if you're kind of the main-ish one, they're not going to put you on their social media because they know the hell well that something's going to get started if somebody puts too many hard eyes under a comment, or somebody starts, hearting a comment too damn much. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to keep all your little hoes and your little options separate, you just don't put anybody on your social media, or you pick the ones that really kind of don't matter. So it's a whole sneaky thing behind it. So in essence, does it matter? No. But yeah. You know what I mean?
So sis came out with the gate with it. Like I feel like everything she said normally takes place like 30 minutes into this conversation.
She was like,
You're
On a
welcome.
normal episode, we would have been 30 minutes in before we really got into it. But sis said, no, we finna do this right now.
Right.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so
Here's
a couple of things that you touched on. The gaslighting, right? I think for me, it does matter. And here's why. Because I don't like the statement of social media is not real, right? Because look at our friendship, right?
Yeah.
We all met through social media, and yet that translated into events, that translated into doing real business, that translated into us doing this podcast. So social media is not real. What is this? Right?
right.
And if it can be this way in friendships, it's this way in relationships. And I remember telling an ex one time, I said, the only difference between you and like this person or these people is that you haven't met in real life, but we're all in the same city. So random trip to the grocery store, random trip to a restaurant. Oh, hey, don't I know you from Facebook? Oh, hey, don't I? Boom. Now it's real life. Right. So I think there is a gaslighting aspect that takes place in relationships. I think it's obviously trust, communication, being able to talk about certain things. You need to have those. But I feel like when it comes to social media, for some reason, there is a sneaky piece to it that's always added. And I'm not going to say it's just men, because it's women too, right?
Yeah,
but there is a sneaky piece to adding it. I think you have to ask yourself, if I am liking this, like if I find myself liking constantly, then I need to address what that is, right? And if I'm in a relationship, would I want my partner seeing this? Would I want my partner, how would my partner feel based on my reactions? So I don't play that shit. Let me just out the gate. I don't play that with social media. I don't do social media, with my person, right? The constant interactions, and it's not a matter of insecurity. It's a matter of what's appropriate in your relationship. So I have a very short fuse when it comes to that. Like if I see it too much, because the way the algorithm works, it's almost designed to tell on you. Remember when they had the ticker? Remember they had the ticker and they used to tell you everybody's business?
Yep.
And Instagram had that tab when it would tell you everybody's business and who they liked, what they did. Twitter still operates that way.
Doesn't Facebook do that now? Like if it's a public post, it tells you like this person commented
so
on.
and so and
commented on it.
But remember, they used to have the ticker on the side.
I remember that.
Tell you everything somebody did. My thing with that kind of stuff is, again, it goes back to what's appropriate in your relationship. How would my person feel? And for me, I may address it. I may say, oh, well, who's that? Right?
Yeah.
Especially if I see the interaction happening a little too much. Like y'all seem
Mm-hmm.
to find each other real funny.
Right. Y'all do a little too
Mm-hmm.
much kikiing.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't Bernie. You ain't said like
Right.
what's
Why
funny.
you
But
laugh?
does that go back to some kind of trust factor within your relationship, though?
100%. 100%. But that's why I said you have to also communicate, right? So my first thought is, what's up with that? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's that? And if I get to a place where I feel like it's a little too much, then I make my decision, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
to Lynette's point, you can't gaslight me. And if I
Mm-hmm.
start to
Right.
feel like you're gaslighting me on
That'd
the,
be a
it's
problem.
not really social media. I don't really know her. I don't really
Yeah.
okay,
You don't
Yeah.
okay.
know her now, but with the way technology is, you're building a bond and some kind of relationship, because guess what? You might not know that person, and you may start out with just talking on social media. Well, social media might go to DMing, right? From a
Mm-hmm.
wall to a DM, from a DM to a video call,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And so now you are building a
Or you get
relationship.
slick. They got vanishing messages. They
That
got
was what I was
voice
about to say.
notes. There's all kinds of things. I want to backtrack because I think
Mm-hmm.
we did. I probably should have did an intro. So let me backtrack. Um, in
Because we
any
went in there.
relationship, huh?
We went in there.
We did. We did. And I'm starting to think like I should have did an intro. So let me backtrack real quick. In any relationship, you need trust, you need communication, you need to, every relationship is going to be based on what those two people need, right? So the
Hmm.
basis of this conversation isn't really to say like whether or not certain things are right or wrong, right? Because what I may feel about how my person acts on social media, Adrienne may not feel, Lynette may not feel, the next person may not feel. Hell, the person I'm with may have a different perspective than what I do. And I think what's important in any relationship is that those people can communicate effectively and come to some sort of agreement of what works for them. What's going to work for our relationship to where shoe on the other foot, she doesn't feel suffocated if it's him that's concerned about the social media. He doesn't feel suffocated if it's her that's concerned. But I also kind of want to talk through whether or not it's something that actually just reveals the behavioral pattern of a person. Because a cheater is a cheater is a cheater. It don't even matter social media, real life,
Hmm.
work, grocery store, church, whatever. Certain people with certain patterns tend to operate the same way no matter what the realm or the element that they're in. Like whatever environment they're in, their personality comes out. That's just who they are. And so I think it's important to state that first, at least from my perspective. um, but again, in any relationship, the first thing that's important is trust and communication and the ability for both parties to come to some sort of compromise or agreement for what works for them. That being said, because social media is so prevalent now, like what would we do if it went away? We use it for so many different things. It tends to get blamed for relationships. It gets blamed for the downfall of, until the next point, you see it a lot when people will say, oh, this is your social media friends on there and they just gassing you up, or they're just saying this, or don't believe that. It's just social media. It's fake. It's not, though, right? And so I think we have to start identifying and go back and look towards whether or not this is actually this person's behavior or whether this is something that actually needs to be addressed. So I wanted to frame the conversation because I know we jumped in. I wanted to go back and reframe the conversation just to give the viewers a perspective of like where we're coming from, right? I personally don't believe that social media ruins relationships. I believe that people ruin relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in that though, I guess what a better subject would be is social media etiquette when you're in a relationship. What does that look like? Right? What are some things you should be aware of? What are some things you should be considering if you are, and are the rules different in the different phases of dating? You're talking, listen, I hate the talking phase, but you're talking, you have exclusive dating, you have, you know what I'm saying? The actual relationship, like, are the rules of engagement different based on the phases of the relationship you're in? Or once you start saying, okay, this is the person I want to talk to, should you start adjusting and operating yourself and training yourself essentially to behave differently? Adrienne, what do you think about that?
Well, that was a whole lot right there because when it comes to social media and relationships for me, I'm real iffy on even if I become social media friends with the individual
Mm,
or which platform, right?
mm,
If I met this person, because it's all about where I met this person, I'm dating. I'm not in a relationship with one individual. So
mhm,
I'm dating, right? I'm out there. But if I met a person at a networking event, a corporate type level event, guess what? I may exchange my LinkedIn with that person.
not a
Um,
LinkedIn.
it's
Hold on,
social media. Is it not social media?
hold on. A LinkedIn.
I
I
met them at a corporate event.
I have never given a man that I'm considering anything my LinkedIn.
We both know each other. We're at a different type of environment. So they
Okay.
know my government name. They probably know who I work for because we're in a corporate type of environment. So guess what? That's the level we're going to stay on because the LinkedIn me versus the IG me versus the blue app me are different. They behave. It's the same person, but I behave a little bit different on each one of those platforms.
I can see. Yeah, I mean, well, on my LinkedIn is my government. Listen,
Professional.
I
Your
don't,
LinkedIn is all
I don't
professional.
do LinkedIn for that, but I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
For yeah, okay.
If we're out and about, we're mingling. I'm at a network. I go to a lot of networking events for in the space that I'm in the corporate world, right? And even some of my entrepreneurial stuff, I'm in a lot of those spaces networking. So you're just gonna get LinkedIn. If you're somebody who, I met in the health and wellness community, you're probably gonna get my IG
Mhm.
page because that's the one that I'm most active on in that space. Now, if you just fun, just kicking it, just whatever, I may or may not give you my Facebook. Now, here's the caveat. If I give you my Facebook, we become Facebook friends. I am going to be 100% upfront with you. You know, hey, it's all about fun, fitness, and foolery over here. It may be some shenanigans that said. If you can't, if you don't have tough skin, you may not want to be on my page. I'm just upfront about it because social media, without the right communication up front, it can make a relationship go left. Because say we had a disagreement, right?
Mhm.
And I make a post on my social media. It could be nothing about what we got going on. It could be just me randomly thinking or conversation we could have had, and I just made a generic post. But if he and I don't have a good line of communication, he's gonna think that post is about him, and it's not.
I listen. I've been through that before, um, on the giving and the receiving end. So let me say that.
Yeah.
Same, same.
I feel like when it comes to social media, I used to have the saying, we have to be meme compatible, right?
Mm.
I post a lot of, not so much anymore, but I was low key like a little comedian on my page. It's 100%. I start off with the good morning, God bless you. It's gonna be a great day, right? And then throughout the
Mm-hmm.
day, I slowly progress into the shenanigans,
Transition.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the day, I'm like, good night, God loves you.
Right.
See you tomorrow.
Opening and
Because
closing.
I don't want my last post to ever be like she was posted some crazy stuff and that was the last thing. So no, but I mean, you can't be on my page getting offended. And I tell, people that I meet, I have a brand. My brand is called Sexy After Kids. I think I keep it very vanilla compared to what I could do with that name online.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but still that comes with certain things. It does come with the selfies, the outfits, the whatever. And I think as a result of that, um, he has to be very secure within himself. He has
Right.
to be okay with certain things. Like you can't come over here trying to regulate my page. Not because I'm doing anything crazy, but just because there has to be space for you in your relationship to be yourself, to
Mhm.
be free. Like I'm never getting a joint social media page with my mate. Like I don't care. I'm never
Yeah,
Can
doing
we
it.
talk about that for a minute?
We sure can. We sure can.
I don't understand that
no.
because when it's birthday time, do I gotta tell that page happy birthday for
Yes,
each
and
one
then
of
who do you know
y'all?
who you're talking to? And then how do you know who you're talking to?
I just think that's weird.
I have friends who do it, and I mean, yeah,
I got
Did
relatives too.
somebody
I'll be
cheat?
looking at my aunt and my
What,
uncle and
what was
like,
the deciding factor? Did somebody cheat, Lynette?
no, no,
Did
it's just one
somebody
of
have
those.
inappropriate behavior? Well, you don't.
No, no, this literally just a we're in love. For these two, I can literally say that this is just we're in love and we love it and whatever.
Okay.
it's like, and then here's the thing, Facebook does that if it's a personal page, so it will say it's that person's birthday.
Yeah,
Well, it's both of y'all page, so who damn birthday is it?
you just got to know your friends. You got to know
You
your
know what I'm
friends.
saying? You gotta know
Facebook is only giving the birthday of the person that put their birthday in
that
with
it
the page.
correct.
That's why I said you just got to know your friends,
You gotta know
honestly.
your friends. You gotta pay
I'm
attention
like,
to the page.
y'all doing too much.
But I agree. I agree with you, Adrian. I do because I mean, like again, it's not good for me, because I still believe in my individuality either way.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We're not
I see a
Siamese
cooking
twins.
recipe I want to share with you. I gotta tag y'all page, and it's both of y'all. It ain't for you. It's for you.
And then you got to guess which one of us responded.
Who has time for those
Especially, or
shenanigans?
like if you post a selfie and then they hit your page with the looking good, sis.
Right. I'm
Huh,
like,
Who am I talking to?
right. You got to know your friends. When it comes to stuff like that, I don't
You
knock
do.
it,
You
but you got
100%.
to know
Because
your
I can say
friends.
I know some people that share a page and they are absolutely in love,
And it's
like
totally fine.
cutest thing ever, like great,
Exactly.
great couple,
but
successful, the whole nine. I think nothing of the way that I see their page is if it were not for the fact that we're in business, we probably wouldn't even be on this app. We would be with each other somewhere in
Mhm,
love, but we're
mhm,
in business and we're leaders. And, so we have to have a presence, so to speak, right? So I can understand that.
I have a
mhm.
question though. Is that also like could be a reverse psychology type thing, right? Because if I share a page with you, you see and you trust me that I'm not doing anything because I'm sharing a page with you.
That's a bad idea.
No,
From a man's perspective, I'm not cheating on you, honey. I share a Facebook
that's
page
not
weekly and
true
People
everything.
because
go
you
people go and make
always
fake
say
pages
this.
all the time.
Yeah,
I'm
like
just
that's not
saying,
true. I don't see
is
that.
that could that be a method or
I
is it
think
like
I
I
think
am showing
anything
you
is
my undeniable? Huh? What?
I
I have
think anything's possible. I think if you have a person who is a manipulator, then yeah, anything is possible. Again, it's not social media, it's the person. A
Mm-hmm.
manipulator is a manipulator. A cheat is a cheat. A narcissist is a narcissist. Like the method doesn't change the individual. So to your point, could it be? Yeah, it could, you know, but it might not be.
Yeah.
It's just so weird to me. I just can't get and granted, I have some family members that share page, and I always look at it like
I would just never do it. And it don't have
I
nothing to do with anything other than the fact that you would just have to trust me.
and I run my
Like
business from my page.
that too.
I just don't see the need. I don't even have a real reason. It again for me, I just for what?
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't either. It's just no.
Yeah, right.
It's,
She was
it's
like,
no.
it's a
And
no.
if the person is adamant about that, like then that's kind of where I'm willing to walk away from that relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So
see,
I met
So
a
for
guy. I think
example,
I don't know if I talked about this before. So I met a guy. Maybe we talked about it after. I met a guy and we were talking about just business or whatever. And he was very adamant about being somebody that if we um, progressed to anything, he was very adamant about being manager, overseer, something or other of
turn it
my
on.
business, right?
mm,
And I kind of just was like, yeah, no, because this was before you. It's mine. First of all, it was before you. It's for my kids. The other part of that though is it don't even got nothing to do with that, right? Forget that it was before him and the whole nine. I'm not in a space where I'm willing to let a man have that level of like it has to be a partnership, right? Like
yeah.
I get submission, which we could talk about in another episode, and I get a woman and a man and the whole, and I'm with it. I'm with the gender role. I'm with it. I'm with all that. But I also think you have to give space for your partner to breathe. Everything
Right.
cannot be managed, controlled, and whatever. You got to give some rope. And here's the thing if the person hangs themselves, they just hang themselves,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's kind of like, I don't care how many females you have on social media. If I see something that's I'm going to say inappropriate or that makes me feel uncomfortable, then I'm going to address it with you.
Hmm.
And once I've addressed it with you, the decision is now up to you for which way you want to take this, right? Because I'm going to have my boundaries and he's going to have his boundaries. So if my boundary is I need you to chill out on, and the weird the comments that can be played,
The blurred
or
line comments.
the blurred
Yeah.
line comments and
Mm-hmm.
like stuff you clearly know is inappropriate when you're in a relationship with
Or
somebody.
questionable.
Questionable
Mm-hmm.
perception, right?
Yeah.
Not even just for me, but like
In general.
you low key making me look stupid, right?
Yeah.
Because ain't
Yeah.
nobody dumb and everybody can read between these lines. So I need you to chill on that, right? That's my boundary. Now, if your boundary is I don't care what you're talking about. It's my page. These are my friends. I'm gonna like what I like. I'm gonna say what I say. I'm gonna do what I want. Okay, well then we're just not. We're just not. We're just not compatible.
So
We're just
would
not.
you at that point um unfriend each other on social media?
Oh no, I've done full on blocks. This is over, honey.
No, I'm saying like but y'all still together.
No,
No. So
no,
I'm saying like with your mate, we still in a relationship, but you know what? We can't be Facebook friends or we
no,
can't be social media friends.
So okay, so wait,
no. And I'm saying no.
and I
Because
have a
here's
question for you, Apple, on that. And you're probably going to elaborate on that, but I need you to go into. So, with that being said, okay, you're with somebody, you're dealing with somebody, whatever the case may be. You guys are clearly Facebook friends. We're never going to talk about the platforms, right? You guys are
mhm.
Facebook friends, and
Let's just say
obviously,
social media. Social
right?
media friends. Pick a
Right.
platform.
Let me preface it by saying this. Obviously, when you're dealing with somebody in a relationship or whatever the case may be, it is up to you to make sure that you stop all insecurities before they even become insecure.
100%.
Right?
100%. 100%.
Period. So now let's say that you see somebody, because guys are like, oh, that's my cousin, whatever. Let's say that you see some things, or you're just kind of wondering who it is, like you just said, and you're questioning, like, well, who is that? Or that person doing a little too much, blah, 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 blah. And then the person gets like hella defensive and they delete you because they feel that they don't want no issues. My philosophy on that is it's only gonna be an issue if you don't, like, my friends on my Facebook page don't do shit like that because they have respect for me and they know I don't play that shit. Regardless if whether I'm in a relationship or not, you're not about to come in here doing all kinds of riffraff on my shit. You're just not. And I don't have to tell people that. You know what I'm saying? They automatically know that. So your person either is not checking some people, or they don't give a damn, or they hiding something. So at that point, back to what you were saying, you address it. Hey, babe, I mean, that just looked a little sketchy. I'm just kind of wondering, like, who is that and why do they feel so comfortable? Blue, blue, blue. And he comes with and saying, this is why, and this is why, and this is why, and then delete you. Do you look at this like you're breaking up your relationship over social media? Because again, to me, that's a form of gaslighting, because that's the first thing that guys will say.
I'm breaking up. The relationship broke up because you made a decision that you felt was best for your life. It has nothing to do with social media, because my reaction, let's take me out of it personally.
Okay.
Any woman's reaction to any man's reaction to something that they feel inappropriate between their partner and another person is going to be the same, whether it is social media, whether it happened at work, whether it happened at church, in the whatever it is. If you feel like your person is doing something inappropriate, or a situation keeps popping up with one person in particular, you're gonna feel that way. You're gonna feel like it's unimportant. I guess my point is, it doesn't really matter if it's social media or not.
Right.
That's my point, right?
My second conversation.
You set your boundary, and then your person has the opportunity to say, I respect this boundary. Let's find a compromise, or I'm going to totally ignore this boundary altogether. And when they ignore your boundary altogether, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Whatever my reaction is my reaction.
Because
Adrienne.
So let me ask you a question.
Because I look at it a totally different.
So those who get defensive, like, even if you just ask a simple question like, hey, babe, who was that? They may not have done anything questionable. Just like, hey, who was that?
Here's the thing, though. It's not even like a one-time thing, right? It's not like, right, oh, I asked you one time and then it happens again tomorrow and it's over. Like, it's not like that, right? It's those repeated, like, yo, like, so you just don't care, like, you know what I'm saying? But I
definitely feel that if you can't be friends with your other person on social media, whether you choose to or not mutually, at the end of the day, you're hiding something. I don't give a damn what the person says.
So,
you're hiding something. You're trying to keep your options open.
Before Adrienne
privacy, not secrecy.
Hold on, before Adrienne starts, let me say this too, though. I think, again, it depends on the person. So I'm a very logical person. I'm a very logical person, and I'm a very understanding person. If I was dating somebody who was also a business owner, influencer, musician,
come on with me. Come on.
some sort of thing, you have to have a level of understanding, because you have to understand what comes with that. What I was talking about before is your regular, average, what is the purpose of this person? Make it make sense to me, babe. Is she like, or is it because she's a super fan and she's buying albums? Is she buying tracks? Is she buying tickets? Is she what is the, give me something, right? If you, I need a reason for why this is happening, right? And that could just be me, like, overthinking, because I will overthinking or being logical, but I need a reason. I need it to make sense. I need the math to math. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand certain career fields and certain things and going, oh, okay. And that's why I said, a man in my social media, I have a certain type of business, right? And even though my business is focused on women, the things that I understand is this: when I post a selfie, when I post a picture or whatever. There may be guys liking it, but behind that guy is some girl who is stalking his every single move. And when she finds my page, she's going to find lip gloss. She's gonna find hats and shirts and podcasts and whatever else I'm doing for women's empowerment, right? I don't
Right.
need you tripping with me about some man under this picture who I'm not even worried about. I'm really trying to get to the girlfriend.
So my question is, that's what you know. So circling back to the original question or statement that you were making, is it a problem if your significant other, whomever you're dating or whatever, does not or will not allow for you guys to be friends on social media? Is that
He
a
and
problem?
He and I?
Yes.
Why wouldn't we be?
What again? And that's what I'm saying.
After a certain point, not in the beginning phase, not when we're just talking and
Yeah,
we're getting to know
no.
each other.
Fast forward.
After a certain page, why wouldn't we be friends? That's weird.
On social media,
Why
right?
wouldn't we be friends? That's weird.
Right. Which goes back to my point of it being sneaky. You are trying to keep your options open.
You don't. Adrienne says she doesn't. Why not?
Yeah,
Why not,
I don't
Adrienne?
have
Let's
to
talk
be
about it.
social media friends with my mate because I see you every day. I
Not
talk to you every day.
necessarily. What if you don't live with the person?
I mean, we gonna talk, even if it's just a text communication or a quick call. It's gonna be almost every day or every other day, because I'm that type of person. I'm a communicator, so you gotta have some kind of open line of communication with me, cause I will replace you if not.
Right.
That's just what it is. But I don't have to be social media friends with a person I'm in a relationship with. A guy that I did date for about 6 months, we were not social media friends. We were
Okay, I can
not.
understand that. Let's move it forward. What about 7 years?
If we 7 years in, baby, we together.
Absolutely.
I don't have to be social media friends with you. Like, what am I trying to prove to social media? Is that I got a man?
So here's the thing.
It's not about that.
So, wait. Here's my thing. Here's my thing on that.
Being friends.
Here's my thing on that. It's not that we have to be. It's why can't we?
There you go.
And I think there's a difference. I think there's a difference between the two, right? If we're two people who it just ain't happen because it just ain't happen. You ain't tripping, I ain't tripping, we ain't out at each other. It's not really a big deal. However, if he wants to be my friend and I'm like, nah, why not?
I wouldn't deny him.
Why not? And he would have every right to ask that question, and vice versa. If I was like, if I sent him a friend request and it just kept, and he's on social media every single day, and you're not adding me,
yeah.
Why not?
There's something going
So
on.
I don't think it's a matter of if we need to be social media friends. It's if at the point that one of us decides we want to be, and the other person is saying no, what's the reason?
Okay, so what if the reason is because it causes drama?
That's stupid.
Or it could cause drama.
That's stupid.
I agree.
That's not a reason.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That's not a reason.
What kind of drama?
Because here's the thing: why would it cause drama?
Right.
That right there leads to other questions. Why would it cause drama? What do you have on your page that would
drama with
start drama and drama with who? What are we talking about here?
Right. So with me, so the reason why when it comes to the social media page, and why I was looking crazy earlier as far as like posting and people commenting, is because I don't have a personal page that's set up as a personal page anymore. I don't have multiple pages. I have multiple business pages, but my main page was converted to an entrepreneur content creator page. So I no longer have just that regular plain profile. So I have several people that I'm friends with, but I have several followers as well. And so I can't control what a follower.
Listen, I was just about to say that. I had a situation with someone who was very upset with me about interactions that I was receiving on my page. And my
Mhm.
thing was, my page is public most of the time. I cannot control on the Blue app, right? Not on,
Mhm. Mhm.
like, Insta's always public. You have to be if you are positioned a certain way.
Correct.
Facebook, Facebook, you can kind of, moderate a little bit better, even if you are a creator. So I was like, I can't control who sees what, who likes what, especially if the post goes viral. I don't know. Men are going to say what they're going to say. Men are going to see a picture of a woman, beautiful woman, me, y'all, anybody else, and they're going to say what they're going to say because they're men. But
Mm-hmm.
it's my reaction you should be
Correct.
concerned about. It's what I'm saying back to that person, if I say anything at all, right?
Uh-huh.
If it's too out of line, the person's probably getting deleted or blocked to move because I'm weird about creeps online.
Yeah.
I don't know
Correct.
you. Like I get really weirded out about, men and strangers and stuff like that online.
Yeah.
If it's someone I know, then it depends. I may be flat out like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Or I may not say nothing at all, depending on who it is. If I'm not responding though, and I'm not giving that interaction, then what's the problem?
Mhm. Mhm. Exactly.
Especially understanding
Exactly.
that I'm an entrepreneur slash, I hate the term influencer, but entrepreneur slash whatever. So I'm here for a reason, right? This
Mm-hmm.
isn't like me just kicking whatever, like everything is intentional for the most part, right? And I'm here for a reason.
Mhm.
So to my point back about him, the math got to math. It got to make sense. I got to be able to look at it and be like, oh, she's a fan, and I'm going to laugh at her and keep it pushing. Or I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to laugh at the situation and keep it pushing. Versus your man is the fan of the girl. Because let me tell you something, ain't nothing worse than figuring out your man is the guy that you ignore in your DMs to another woman.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Like, that shit is embarrassing. Let me find out you the one that be with the hey Miss Lady. Hey Miss Lady. How's your day, Miss Lady? No response. Hey Miss Lady, no response. Bruh, sis, that's
it
embarrassing.
happens. It
That's
happens.
embarrassing.
It is.
No?
It is.
But
I
now
don't
I
know.
actually ain't never been through it. You ain't never
I
been
haven't
through
been through it. I'm single. I'm dating. So I have quite a bit of people who follow my page that I'm dating. So, I mean, I'm going to say what I want to say,
there was so much in that statement that wasn't said.
and I'm going to do,
Right. I'm like,
but
There's
I
so much.
make it known on my social media. I am single.
yeah.
100%.
And it's so funny because I made this post a couple of weeks ago about it was 2 weeks before Christmas, and I
Mm.
was like, what did I say? Something about I have a couple of weeks to find somebody for matching pajama sets
I
and
I
stuff.
saw that.
Girl.
Uh-huh.
And so it was like yesterday or something. It was a whole bunch of traffic, right? And some stuff I just will say just to get some engagement and stuff going on my page. And
Mm-hmm.
then I made this comment the other day saying like, well, I didn't make it this year for the matching
That
pajamas.
tickled me. I saw
I
that.
guess I'll go ahead and get started for 2024
Right.
Listen,
because with my social media, whoever I am in a relationship with or I am exclusively dating, because dating many versus exclusively dating one to lead into that full-fledged relationship, that's something different, right? They're gonna know me. They're gonna know that she a nut on social media. Don't take her too serious unless she
Mm-hmm.
giving some motivational tips or some business tips. Other
Right.
than that, she's probably gonna be posting some shenanigans and some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So
I
I
want to
can't
pause
take
for
social media too serious. I just don't.
Y'all must got some different type of men where you at. Cause these ones out here.
No, who said they were met though? I might. I be.
Oh,
I'm
look
not
at
saying that they
just a
bad.
little bit
I'm not
though.
saying that they bad. I'm saying they
Just
probably
a
bad. They
little
worse
bit
out here.
though.
Because the ones out here, girl, you can't trust them as far as you can throw them. A lot of
Girl,
them.
none of
Oh
them.
man. Okay, so
You
I
know.
want to pause really quick. I want to read something. This is from um, a therapy website that talks about the negative effects of social media on relationships. And so it says, although social media has many positive benefits, it has the potential to wreak havoc on a relationship. Some of the negative effects of social media and relationships include decreased time with partner, misconnections, jealousy, conflict arising from disagreements or hurt feelings, and negative comparisons. And then it goes into all of the definitions and kind of extended explanations of these reasons. I think a lot of what we're talking about, well, hold on, let me pause because I just scrolled. The positive effects of social media on relationships connects long distance couples, helps singles meet people, provides access to expert information, and then it gives some signs that social media is impacting your relationship. But going back to these negative traits, because that's kind of what we've been talking about in this episode, again, I think I have to go back and stand on believing that it's the person. I think when you're in relationships and you talk about your love languages, your triggers, your things that you've been through, I think that is the time to be like, I don't like other women, other men, other whatever, I don't, these are my boundaries, right? And at that point, it's for you and your person to come to the compromise on those things. Um, Decrease time with partner. I feel like I can see how social media's impact would have a negative effect on a relationship if you are constantly just in your phone. You come home, you in your phone. You on a date, you in your phone. You got your phone down, right? You doing all this weird stuff. Um, you're not spending time with your person. I don't know anybody who's had an issue with decreased time because of social media.
I don't either.
That seems a little obsessive, you
Yeah.
know.
No.
Um, Negative comparisons. Now, I will say this: I can see how, and I've seen men and women do this. What tends to happen, because we touched on like the overabundance of liking people in particular, right? On both sides. I can see how doing that would cause your partner to start comparing themselves. Like, why are they always
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
what is it about this person? And I think that's a natural thing because we all do that, right? Men and women. Like if your partner likes a certain thing and you don't fit that mold, then you start going, well, what is that,
What's
right?
up?
What is
Right.
it?
Yeah.
What's up? What is it about that? Or how can
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because you want your person to pay attention to you. So I understand that.
Well, and
Uh,
not just people. I think not like you're wanting your mate to compare to an individual. Sometimes people compare their whole relationships to other people relationships they see on
that's
social
true.
media, right?
That's
You
true.
think that person is living a fabulous life and fabulous relationship, and he could be beating her ass
Behind the
at
scenes.
home,
Yep.
right? Or she could be suffering from some. She probably can't cook, ain't giving the man no head or something
Yeah.
at home.
Ah, wait a minute.
I'm just
That's
saying, it might be
what's
some
up.
issues going on, but you comparing yourself to their relationship based off of what you see on social media.
Right.
Because they not
No,
gonna post
that's
the
true.
bad stuff. They gonna post all the
100%.
fabulous, positive. They have the best relationship ever type thing.
Those who
Some people,
overdo it tend to be a little
Well, I
fake.
have seen some fight on social media, but
Right.
But now
I've
you
seen
talked
you
about, I
fight.
want to tap into something, Apple, because you mentioned some of the positives on that. Now let's not sleep on the positives. The two positives, right? You meet some people. I can't lie, with social media being somewhere that something that I'm very active on, and like I said, I have entrepreneurial page, no personal page, but I'm also in different groups in different communities and things like
Mhm,
that, right?
mhm,
Because I try to tap into some of the groups because of the way the algorithm works on some of the platforms. It's best for you to kind of navigate into certain spaces and then pull people out to follow you, right?
mhm,
But I have met some very amazing people on
Mhm.
social media
mhm.
and made some long lasting relationships. You guys I met on
I
social
was I
media,
was about to say, I mean, listen,
right?
I don't want to toot my horn, but I feel like,
What we how many years in now, right? But I met some nice guys in social media too,
mhm,
and it start out social media and goes to telephone and video chat and say you just happen to be in the same city type thing, right? Um, Social media. And
mhm,
it's like you talk to people for a while, you get to know each other. It's no different from if I met you at the grocery store and then we started forming a relationship and talking, or I wouldn't say a relationship, open line of communication.
mhm,
Mhm. Mhm.
It's no different from with social media. I just met you there. We formed an open line of communication, and then we say meet in person.
mhm,
And it's
Yeah.
like we've been knowing each other forever because we been talking and have had that form of communication. Um, so with social media, I look at the positives as well. There are some positives when it comes to social media.
Yeah, for sure. But what I
That's
what I
not
will say is
be
this:
negative.
like on my Facebook, I'm not much of an Instagrammer. I go on Instagram to like look at lives and do stuff like that. I have like 5 posts that are maybe like about 5 years old at this point because I'm terrible at it. For real. So Facebook, like I said, like on my Facebook, it is what it is. So like I'm friends with people that I've dated. I'm friends with exes on Facebook. We don't communicate all the time because we're living our own lives, and it's no big thing. There's not a hard eyes going on underneath each other's comments. Is literally no big thing. So to me, that's kind of why again, it's all like Apple said, it's true. It's like a gun. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the same
Mhm.
concept. So at the end of the day, why not? Why can't you? Why isn't there an option to be friends on social media? Because if you can't give a simple explanation, as a matter of fact, if I'm dating somebody and they're friends with me on my Facebook and they see something that's, questionable, okay, so ask me. If I have nothing to hide,
Right.
I have nothing to get defensive about, right? It's not that big of a deal. And I'm not going to be like, oh my God, and it's dramatic and blah, 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 and it's going to cause a problem. Just answer the damn problem, the question, clear it up and call it a day. But if you
mhm,
got something to hide, now you're ready to get defensive. Now you're ready to delete. Now you're ready to start gaslighting and bullshitting people. And I'm kind of one of those people to where you can say whatever it is that you want. You can explain your way out of whatever it is that you want, but that does not mean that I'm going to believe you. I will even I'm one of those, I like to play stupid for intelligent reasons.
mhm,
Okay. So I'm gonna let you believe, probably even for a really long time, that I'm just really that person that just like, oh my God, he just loves me. Oh my God. And da, 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 da. Like I'm just gonna go with the flow because at the end of the day, I'm a lot smarter than that. I don't really give a
Mhm.
fuck what you're saying. If you are playing some stuff that just don't make sense, like Apple said, the math ain't math, and like it don't take much. And everybody I've dated, I've said the same thing. I get bored easily. Okay. And that means bored if I'm not getting enough interaction. That also means bored of your bullshit. So eventually I'm gonna
Mhm.
get to the point where I'm like, you're not even fun for entertainment purposes at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've dated different kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? So I know what folks can get away with. I know what folks actually have time for. I know people who have had schedules from 24 hours here to 24 hours there, and they've still made time for X, Y, and Z under weird ass circumstances. So it's not too much, if anything, that anybody could tell me that I'm just gonna be like, okay, I believe you. You know what I'm saying? So with the social media, does it matter? No. But does it matter? Yeah. Because why is the option not there? If you can't be upfront and just say what the hell it is, or who homegirl is, or homeboy is, and then just be done with the conversation in 2 seconds, and I'll be like, oh my God, I gotta delete you. Oh my God, all this. You're lying. You're full of shit.
See, and for me, it's not that big of a deal for me because guess what?
I'm coming to
I
Texas.
know people who have work wives and work husbands. I can't control that.
That's
You
not a
ain't gonna get the
problem. But
Okay,
then
job.
but
that's
let me ask this because I know you, Adrienne.
Did you know me?
I know you, and so I wonder if certain experiences play a part in why your thought process is a little bit different from, say, mine or Lynette. And I'm saying it without saying it. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Uh huh. Uh
So
huh.
do those experiences play a part in why you know what I'm saying? Like why, and I guess for the viewer
I'm so
watching this,
relaxed about it.
because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of, oh my God, they're insecure. Oh my God, it's not that,
it's not
right?
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But I think that certain people have harder boundaries than other people, and I'm just wondering if your experiences allow you to be a little bit more relaxed than, say, someone who has not had those experiences. And I will let you decide if you want to, how you want to elaborate on that.
Um, I have to think about that because I guess I don't know if it's the experiences that I've had or just I'm at a point to where like I just don't give a damn.
Okay.
um I'm just so relaxed though when it comes to certain things. And maybe for me because social media just does not hold any weight for me. Cause I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if you gonna cheat, baby,
You gonna
social media you ain't nothing. You gonna cheat wherever. That's like how people be like, "Oh, my husband, he in the house every night by 8." Girl, he was sleeping with Paula at noon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's not act like midday action don't occur.
So, like
Yeah.
for me, I guess for me, I'm just like social media. Yes, is it another avenue for them to go and do some ball head oh shit? Yes, but
What?
I'm just not putting that much weight into it. Um, and I'm also, hey, if you want to play those games, we can play those games.
Girl,
If you
that's my
want to get on
line.
social media and play crazy if you want to over there on
Here's the thing. I'm
Peachy
not playing no
page.
games. It's a very simple thing. I'm not gonna play no games. I'm not gonna tit for tat with you. It's a very simple thing. If this is what you want to be and where you want to
Don't
be, I'm gonna
disrespect.
let you be there.
Yeah.
And you don't get the revolving door. You get a delete and a block on all platforms and communication,
Out of
and
there.
I'm done. Yeah, I have no time for that. Like like I almost said the N word. Lord Jesus, I've blocked a man. I've blocked a man standing in his living room, like, oh for real? Oh for real? Block, 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 block. Okay, no problem. No
Send
problem.
them to the block
No,
party.
yeah, it's a whole block party. No problem. No problem. Because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I think because of my own experiences, I don't even want to be in that mind frame. You know what I'm saying? And so how
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
look
Uh-huh.
at men, and even going back to our episode about friendships, how I look at people in my life. If you if I'm saying to you, I'm about calmness, I'm about peace, like just talk to me. Like if you don't want this no more, say you don't
Say
want it.
that.
The friendship, the relationship, the family ship, the whatever ship it is, if this ain't for you, I'm okay. I'm a big girl. I'm 44 years old. I've been through a lot of things on this planet, in this realm that we're in right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay and I will be okay. What I'm not okay with is continuing to do certain things to pull me out of that space, not respecting my boundaries, right? Whatever they are, whether somebody else thinks they're right or wrong, it don't matter. They're mine, right?
Mhm.
And the not respecting your boundaries, the pulling you out of that space, and the basically just disregarding me, you don't need to be
Mhm.
around. You don't need to be like, what are we doing here? Right? Because I'm not going to keep having the same. I hate repeating myself. And that's the other
Right.
Same.
thing. So for me, like I done told you nice once and I done told you nice twice. Now, if I got to say it a third time, you're going to get somebody else. And if I end
Right.
up having to be her, this is over anyway, because you're not going to forgive me for half the stuff I'm about to say. And maybe some of the stuff I'm about to do. You're going to hate me. So it's no problem. We should
So
just stop right
Apple.
now.
So circling back, are you saying that basically social media should be an option? At least it should be on the table for both parties, regardless of whether you're friends or not. It should be at least be on the table.
What's this?
I know you sick of me.
Because we trying to get clarification.
Because, and I'm trying to clarify because I thought I did.
Apple. In other words, she said she not with the BS. She done
I'm not with the
told you
BS. Here's the thing: we don't
one
have to be
time.
friends.
She ain't telling
We
you
don't have to
again.
be friends. We don't have to be friends on social media at all.
Mhm.
Right.
But if
Mhm.
one person in the relationship decides that they want to be friends,
It
they
should be on
should
the
not
table.
be
Right.
denied. If they are being
I'm with you on that.
denied, what is the reason? And what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What like
Yeah.
Is there a
I'm
what
good
with
are
you
we
on that.
reason? Would there be? Do
I
you
don't
think
know.
it constitutes as what constitutes as a good reason? You know what I
I
mean?
don't know. I've never had that issue. And if I did, I got
Yeah.
rid of them. I've never had that problem. You know what I'm saying? Why would you not add me? That's weird.
Well, and I've never. I'm normally the one getting the
Adrian.
request. I'm normally the one getting the request. So I'm like,
I can see
well, here's
that.
the thing: when you convert your page, they really it shows follow first. They got to know how to go and find the add friend option because that doesn't come up first.
No, it does
Just
not.
the follow comes up first. So I guess I just haven't really just been through that.
I had a guy I was talking to follow me only, and he seemed to know everything that I was doing online, but he never added me as a friend. And then in person, low key tried to play it cool, like, oh, I ain't really tripping, but you are. Because he slipped up one day and said, oh, yeah, I saw that thing you posted this morning. And I said to him, we're not friends. How did you see that? Now I know how, but we're not
Yeah,
friends.
Is it possible that he figured he didn't have to add you as a friend because he was already following you and
he's
already seeing your
following you.
content?
No, no. He was trying to stay in the shadows and watch me to
Come,
to
you got an alert.
this is another episode. He was in the shadows watching me, and I don't want to say judgment, but that weird thing that these men think that they can do now, which is like, I'm gonna watch your page and see how you behave to determine whether or
Baby,
not.
don't go by what you see on social media.
Let me tell you something. You're gonna get your
That's
feelings hurt
insane.
every single time. You're getting
Now
your
that's
feelings hurt every single
oh,
time.
that's a whole other show because don't go by
It
what you
is.
see on social media thinking you
At
You
know
all.
them.
can't. You can't. There's some people who are on there who are in full fledged, will not cheat, men and women, will not cheat relationships, but their page is nothing but shenanigans. Because here's the reality: we deal with so much stuff
Yeah.
on our jobs, in our lives, and whatever. I come here to decompress. I start with
Mhm.
an inspiration to get everybody
Uh-huh.
and myself, and then I shenan again and again and again and again
Entertainment.
until
Right.
I'm
Entertainment.
ready to go to sleep, and then I'm done shenanigans, and I give you an inspirational thought to close out your day, and it is what it is, right? Like, you can't judge off of that, and that's why I said we got to be meme compatible, gift compatible,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, if we don't have the same sense of humor, like I can't date somebody who's too mature. Like, I'm so mature. I never post on social media. I
Right.
don't come on there to da da da. But you know every trending topic, you know
Right.
every TikTok song, you know every single thing that's happening with a celebrity, but you too mature to be on. So it's stupid. Get away
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah.
Like I took a lot of my colleagues off my page. Follow me on
Oh,
LinkedIn.
they was never
It's
added.
not the page for you over
First of
here.
all, I don't use my listen. Find me first. Search it.
Girl. They some of them who found me, I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh. And at one point I had stopped all shenanigans and I was real
Yeah.
inspirational and I had my moment. So I was
I'm not
letting them
stopping the
on.
shenanigans. I have one that follows me and I love her to death. We're friends on Instagram. And I posted something one day that said something like, um, anybody looking for a job, mine is hiring because I'm about to quit.
Ha!
And so the next day when I logged in at work, she was like, girl, and
Oh,
we're two totally different people, like age wise and everything. But she was like, "Oh my god, that was so funny." You know what I mean? But I like her, and so it's cool. It's really not a problem. The other thing is, I think this goes back to what we said in the entrepreneur conversation, which is, listen, I'm not gonna say I don't care, but it's also kind of like it is what it is, right? Like it just
it
is
is
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
So I think with colleagues, you have to be selective. It's not an absolute
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
but you got
yeah.
to be selective. Like I need to know where you stand on things,
Mhm.
right? And here's the thing, and even if you do turn out to be a mole, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was heavy on my DEI posting and things like that, I really was letting certain
Mhm,
co-workers and colleagues on purpose, right?
mhm.
Because I needed you to get this message.
Right,
I
100%.
needed you to see. And I just never really, at that point, when I decided, you know what, let me go back to my shenanigans. I did a sweep. You gotta go.
Mhm.
Catch me
Gotta
on
go.
LinkedIn. You
Done.
why you over here and there anyway? Catch me over there. Cause that's where
Mhm,
the side of me that you see anyway, because I don't hang with you outside of work.
mhm,
Yeah.
So
mhm,
catch me on that side. Yeah, when it comes to social media, like I said, it's different on my platforms based off of it. That goes back to your target audience, right? My audience on my LinkedIn looks different on my Blue app versus IG. I don't really get on X that much.
I don't.
Um, I used to. Ooh, that's
You
how
know, I
I
still be
first
calling
got
him by his
introduced.
old name.
I know. That's how I was first introduced to social media.
Mm.
Was
Really?
Twitter back in the day. Yeah, I was a Twitter head. Wow, tweet, tweet, tweet all day long. Um, and then I eventually navigated to the Blue app, but I was not on any other platform but that one. Um, Actually, now my most engagement is on the Blue app,
What is the blue app?
Facebook.
Facebook. We have been saying the blue app for two whole episodes.
And let me tell you something. And I heard it, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe she's talking about something else.
That's
And
the blue
then I'm like,
pill.
okay, she said it again. She said it one more time. I'm asking, what the hell is the blue app?
You know what's funny? Like as much as like Lynette's mind is so like it's legal.
You're
Like
right.
it deals in absolutes.
It's true. I'm a
She
very
does. She's a very absolute person. Like there is
yeah,
no like
no gray
nah.
area.
I
It
need this.
took a minute. It
So
was
you
like,
said on such and such day at such and such time. What is the guy GD Blue app?
Right. Literally, yeah,
but
I do,
book.
I do live in absolutes. I would say I'm working on it, but
I'm
I'd
telling
be
y'all,
lying.
I'm working on my cousin. That's why I was like, God, GD, working on my
I
cousin.
heard. Look at my
Right.
cousin.
I
I'm
do work in
my
absolutes,
cousin.
but she said the blue app. I'm literally envisioning
A blue
a
app.
blue app,
A
and I'm
blue
But
like,
app.
okay, maybe
look
this
at
app
the
does
blue.
something, in that I don't know about.
It's the only blue app at this point. Twitter used to be the blue app too. It's the only blue
It's
app
not
at
blue
this point.
anymore.
No, it's an X.
No,
I don't
it's
go
a
on
big
that.
old X and
I
it's
know it's an
black.
X. Wait, I know it's an X, but
It's
I didn't know that
black.
they changed the color. I don't.
I
I
think
don't
it's
fool around
black.
like that. Oh, it's
No,
Yeah,
black
it's
and white
black.
now.
look, we all looking at our phone.
Oh damn, it's black and white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He changed everything. Now I will tell you guys, I was looking as we were
Oh,
talking
LinkedIn is
about.
still blue.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We were talking about like with relationships and things like that with social media. And I came across as I was doing some searching too, where it was saying people who do not use social media are 11% happier in their marriages than people that regularly use social media.
People that don't use social media
Mm.
are miserable and they're boring. And you are
Now
boring.
that's what the internet
Get your
says.
boring ass out of my face.
But
Behind.
is
I'm
it
sorry.
because could it
Goodbye.
be that they are happier because they're not in the mix of all the shenanigans that are going on out
No, and
there?
I'm
But
gonna tell you
again,
why.
it is the person. It's not it's
Exactly.
just not.
It's
Like
situational.
I'm sorry. It is your behavior pattern. It is
I think it's
you
the
as a
person.
person. Because you have other people, such as myself, who function on social media for business who ain't in the midst of nobody's nothing
Drinking my
because
water,
that is
minding my
not my
business.
person. I don't argue with nobody. I'm not gonna like I was on somebody's post the other day. It was a guy friend of mine. I was on his post and he was posting about, oh my God, what was that thing they just was arguing about? Because every day is something else. Oh my God. Something to do with
Hmm.
relationships, somebody's relationship. Anyways, whatever it was, I'm gonna remember in a minute. Whatever it was, I stated my opinion. Somebody I don't know who clearly knows him also came in and put a comment under and was like, because my friend came back and said, you're projecting, blah, blah, blah. I'm not projecting, but I'm gonna let you rock. This is my
Mhm.
opinion based on blah, 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 blah. Right. I'm talking to this person that I actually know, right? Their friend comes under the comment, likes his comment, is like, yeah, bro, some, whatever, whatever, right?
Oh.
So I look at the comment and I was trying to decide, do I respond to this person? Do I not respond to this person? So I go to their page and I just see whatever's public and I determine based on what's public, you're not even worth my response.
Not even worth it. Yep.
So what did I do? I blocked him.
Yeah. But it's true. I don't think people on social media, again, everything on social media is subjective for
Oh
the
no,
most part. If you can
because
remove
here's
yourself
the thing.
from
No,
everybody
no.
else's stuff, then what's the problem? There's no reason to be unhappy about it because it's not your life, it's
In
not
that
your shit.
situation, the thing is, I'm not going to argue with you. And I don't know you. And so clearly my comment triggered you and you tried to insult me by way of my friend. So let's clear this up. All
Right
time.
now.
You don't ever gotta see me on this app
Right.
ever again in your life. Like
Right.
ever. Like you never have to look in my face ever again. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't, right? Because for what? I don't argue on social media. And so to what I was saying originally, it is the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's plenty of people who get on this app every day, laugh, joke, whatever, go home,
Mm-hmm.
log off, and life is whatever it was.
Yep.
Wolves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true.
I
You
think
just
people give social media, and
too
it
much
goes
credit.
back to what you said, people, right? They
Mm-hmm.
just give it too much weight. Now, I do, Apple, though, agree with you. If you've had that conversation with your mate and say that they're doing something that you feel that's disrespectful, then
Mm-hmm.
that's different, right? You're doing something, and
Mm-hmm.
I have expressed to you how that made me feel. Because that
100%.
could be outside of social media. It could be anything you do in the house or while we're in person or whatever. If I express to you how it made me feel, but you continue the behavior on social media, now we got a bigger problem.
So let's take it further because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you disregard me with something as minor as
Right.
social media, then you will be
That's
thinking that it is okay for you to disregard
uh-huh.
me in
Mm-hmm.
other areas. And I don't
Correct.
care what anybody says,
I
it may
agree.
not show up immediately, it
But
shows up
it'll
in time because it is a behavior. How you
Yep.
I
do
agree.
anything is how you do everything. And so if I allow you to disrespect me here, you're gonna disrespect me there. And
True.
I
I
can't
agree.
have that. And
True.
therefore, I'm gonna tell you once, I'm gonna tell you twice. That's about all you
After
get
that,
out of me.
you gotta
That's
go.
it. Because you grown and I'm grown. I'm not gonna keep repeating myself. You ain't my kid. I got 3
Yeah.
of them in there. I
But
don't even like repeating myself with them. You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
I'm not. I'm just not gonna keep repeating myself. And here's the thing, and he shouldn't have to either, right?
agreed.
Shoe on the other foot. If he comes to me and he says, "Hey babe, I don't like blah 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 blah," and I continue to do it,
It's a
or
total disregard. It's
or we're at a
disrespectful at that point.
standstill where this is a thing for me and it's a thing for him, and we disagree and we're butting heads, then we have a decision to be made. A decision needs to be
Mhm.
made at that point.
Yeah. But even still, the topic of
I'm talking
insecurity, like
hardline boundaries too.
even something as simple as even if it's not something that's like, oh my God, I've told you about this inappropriate behavior. Even something as a simple question on your social media, or maybe I'm just that open book where I don't really care enough like that to where it's gonna affect me. If you have a question about something, even if it's not inappropriate, like, well, who is that? World, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, that's boopy boop. I'm just gonna answer. It's no big deal to me. I'm not like, oh my God, my
Mhm.
dude is insecure. It's not that serious for me. And I guess I don't want to say my
Well,
problem,
I
but my
think that
thing is,
insecure comment is to your point that you said earlier. I think that's gaslighting. I think if that's the first thing you jump to, it's
mhm,
gaslighting. Right
yeah,
now, there are some people who are just, yeah, they
every
are.
little thing. What's that?
There's,
Who's that? What's
yeah,
that?
it's
Who's
every
that?
little thing. It's a problem. And I get that, and I understand how people can kind of blend the two, right?
Uh-huh.
But
I
I
agree.
do think like if that is your first reaction, like if this person ain't never displayed nothing else in no other area, and your first reaction is to gaslight them, social media is not real, you're insecure, and all those other sayings, that's a
Or
problem.
to see, then
Yeah.
this is why. That
Yeah.
line right there will get you punched in your face. See, and this is why I.
In the
Now,
face.
I have had
Sorry,
one weird
my bad.
situation when it came to social media. I had to think about it. I'm like, have I ever had, and I've been thinking about it this whole time. Like, have I ever had any weird shit happening? I have. I had an ex who I noticed on his social media, like we had a whole bunch of mutual friends.
Mhm.
And I'm like, how we get all these mutual friends when I know you don't know half of these people? So at that point, that was when my page was just a regular page, and I had my friends list public.
Mhm.
So, cause you can make that where it's hidden; they can't see your friends list.
Yeah.
Um, but in the beginning, I didn't have all that. Back when I first got on social media, on the Blue app, and the fool was going and requesting people that I was friends with on my social media,
That's some
like
goofy
people
shit.
from my hometown.
Hold
Like
on.
I'm from a small town. You know none
Right.
of it.
Hold on. I have a so he's an ex, but we're still friends. We're really, really good friends. We're friends to the point where when Future Bay comes, there'll have to be an introduction. Like, this is not that, and I don't mind if y'all go play ball and do whatever. We just are two people who the relationship didn't work out and we're friends. So
Mhm.
anyway, he told me he had this girlfriend, same situation like you. He had this girlfriend, and I don't think she added people, but she was hopping in their DMs and asking them, "Oh yeah, hey Barbara, this is Shirley. Who are you?
Oh
Oh no, that's
Who
worse.
are you?
no.
That's
And how
worse.
do you know my man?" And I
Mm,
Oh,
said, "What?" He
no,
was like,
ma'am.
"Yeah." He was like, "I," and like me and him don't talk all the time, but this conversation, I was just like, it was a catch up conversation. So I'm like, "What happened to the girl?" And she lives there in Texas. And I was like, "What happened to the girl? Like, you still going out? Y'all still rotating weekends and you going out there to see her and whatever?" And he was like, "Nah." He was like, "Let me tell you." He was like, she was in everybody's DMs asking them who. Now, he and I are not
How
friends
you know
on
my
social
man?
media because we discovered in our relationship that it was a problem, right?
Mm.
For both of us, right? For both of us, it just kind of was one of those things where it was like,
Cliff Notes version. I need to hear this. Why?
girl, that's an offline version.
Fair.
We decided mutually, right, that for our relationship, we
You
just
were not gonna do social media.
it just wasn't a thing. And I think it had more to do with the time and space of where we were when we dated, where we both were when we dated, right? A lot of emotions, a lot of tempers flared, a lot of external things happening, and it just kind of was like, let's not. Like, let's try and see if this works for us. And it did.
Mm-hmm.
And it did. And there was no weirdness and there was no whatever. And we didn't. And like, we're still, even through the breakup, like, we're still friends. Right. So that's how I'm saying, like, it doesn't matter. So when I had asked him, but I do remember at one point I had blocked him and I never unblocked him, even though like we're still friends. And so the girl, I said, because I was like, dang, I was like, she never came to me. He's like, well, we're not friends. He was like, remember, like she can't even see your page. And I said, I was like, oh, you're right. Like I hadn't even thought about it. I was like, oh, you're right. And I said, well, it's probably better off for her because the wrong one.
Right.
Because you would have been
But
like,
even to
I
your
got
point,
something for
Apple,
you.
on the contrary, to your point, Apple, that was a mutual agreement that the two of you
100%.
came to. Do
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying? So either way, either decision, the yes or the no, it was still on the table to say, well, we're going to
Well,
remain
because I
friends on
think
social
if I
media versus
recall
not.
correctly, I think what happened was we probably, more than likely, we probably got into some sort of argument. Something happened. A delete took place. He's blocked, so it was probably me. Only me, right?
Right.
We got blocked.
She's so
We worked
toxic.
it out, and then I just was like, I'm not unblocking you because I'm not going through this with you again, right? Or whatever it was, right? Like I'm just not unblocking you. I don't.
Yeah, and to be fair, let me be fair about it. Like even with one of my exes, I didn't block him, but I deleted him about 8 years ago or so years ago. Because again, I just can't vibe with what he posts. It's one of those, I know you in real life, the stuff that you post, it just does not align with me, and it doesn't have to align with me. That does not mean that, we stop being friends behind it. That does not mean that it was a whatever. There was no, it was still love there, but everybody's page isn't for everybody. And this wasn't a thing where I said, I'm going to keep unfollowing you or hiding your posts for every 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even to this day, I still don't go on his Facebook page because I just don't want to see the content. And I'm not saying it's good or bad or indifferent. It's just not for me. I'm not the target audience. I don't need to see it. My humor is
I'm
not
not
in
the
that
target
realm.
audience.
I'm not, honey. My humor is not in that
Target
realm.
I'm dead.
Listen,
My
it's the
humor is
target
not in
audience
that
for
realm.
everything, including your
You know,
relationship.
so in that sense, it's like, okay, whatever. But we never had an issue behind that. So there's that.
So have you ever unfriended a person and then regretted you unfriended them because you go back and you be like, oh no, I really wanted him to see what I had going on.
No, because then you just
This
make
is
your shit
what's
public.
going on
No, because
after you.
then just make your shit public. They're gonna look.
Yeah, but that's assumed they're following you.
They don't have to follow you. If your shit is
Well,
public,
yeah,
they
if
can
it's
just
public,
go.
they can find you.
They can just type your name in and poof, there's your
Yeah.
page, and everything that's public is right there in plain sight. I don't,
I'm
but
like,
see,
you
even that
gonna
doesn't
get
bother me.
me.
It is what it is. I mean, my thing is this: if you're gonna go as far as that,
whole conversation, when I tell you, I can't even imagine what the comments is gonna be like. I feel like it's gonna go left. Adrienne gonna be unfeeling. I'm gonna be me, maybe insecure. Lynette gonna be don't get it rigid.
Listen.
This conversation has been completely just all over the place. I think, again, with social media and relationships, it's one of those things we could go on and on and on because it is a very subjective thing. It
Like,
is
Yeah.
what
yep.
each relationship. Here's the thing: what worked in the relationship that, like the guy that we're still friends, what worked in that relationship, even down to me blocking him and us still being friends years later, even after a failed relationship, that is a one-off. That does not happen a lot. You know what I mean? Versus there's other relationships where we've never been social media friends, but we're great. There's other relationships where it's ended up in, you block, you can't never speak to me again. It just depends. Every single relationship is going to be different because your interaction with each person is different. You
Mhm.
are you are always yourself, but you're not the same woman with this man that you are with that man because he's different. And he's
True.
not the same man with you that he
Mhm.
was with somebody else because he's different. And you've had
Mhm.
learning experiences and growing experiences and different things that have taken place. And depending on where you are in life, your mindset might shift, right? A lot of things that I once felt I don't feel anymore about relationships, social media, and other things, right?
Mhm.
The person I'm talking to, the people I'm talking to.
Fix it. Fix it.
Come on,
Fix
Apple.
it.
I'm dating. What did Adrienne say? I'm
What?
dating.
What?
I don't know. She did a little jiggle with hers. I'm damn near celibate, but I'm dating. So
Listen, sis.
I am having phone conversations. Let me say that. Adrian's
Same.
dating. I'm having phone conversations. Very different. Very different.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
I
outside tonight. I can well, bitch. Oh.
but but the thing is this: my interactions, even with them, like I might be social media friends with some, I might not be with others. I may talk to some on the phone, I may only text others, I may only voice note others because that is the nature of that relationship, right? So the rules of engagement and how we set things, and then each person is different and their careers are different and their need for social media and social media interaction very different, right? So with one person,
Mhm.
I may not care because I know based on what he does, the hoe's gonna come. It's just part of the it's just part of what that is, right? There's
mhm.
another person where I might be like, I can see them come in, but I need you to like matrix.
Right,
I need you to
right,
matrix that, right?
right. Keep that in check.
Another person I might be like, what was the reason? Because I can't see how this fits, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not saying that for sure. I'm just saying each person is different, so your interaction is different. And I think based on that, you have to find the compromise in your relationship. Communicate clearly, set your boundaries with each other, man and woman, right? And find that middle ground, right? And then whatever is the result, each person is going to walk their own plane, men and women.
Mhm.
True.
Everybody gets the room to walk their own plane. Now, if you fall off, well, hell, that is, hey, that's you. You know what I'm saying? But maybe not, right? It just depends on how you operate those relationships. Overall, I think this was a great conversation. Um, Again, social media and relationships, we could go on and on. You're always going to have Asian with that body roll. Lord,
Yeah.
Sid
I
says
like
she's
social media and relationships.
outside. We gonna have that other conversation. I let you off the hook today. We gonna have that conversation.
Girl, don't
Adrian
All
worry
I
gonna
about
have
gotta
to
it.
clear
say
up
with
that.
that one is you are definitely gonna need a drink for that.
Lynette gonna need a
You gonna need a drink for sure when I let Adrian off the hook with this
drink.
with that conversation. But before we
I
end,
ain't bother
give me some
nobody.
final thoughts. I'm gonna start with Adrian. Final thoughts.
I will just say, social media is, not the don't let it be the existing, the focal point of your relationship. Set boundaries, be upfront, Don't tolerate disrespect, but
100%.
keep in mind, keep a light heart, that it can be for entertainment purposes. And you can't always control what another person does to kind of trigger your person.
Mhm,
However, you can monitor and look at and question how your person responds. So
mhm, mhm.
don't take social media too personal. And just keep the people out your business on social media. Drink
That
your water and stay in your lane.
man, that part, Lynette.
Yeah. Again, it's not the platform itself. It's not the platform itself. I believe it's each person's responsibility. And we're not talking about people who just met 5 minutes ago. We're talking about people who have been talking for a while or whatever the case may be, where it would actually be, it would make sense to be friends on social media or not.
Mhm,
I still firmly believe that whether you're friends on social media or not, the option should be on the table. And as Apple had said earlier, and if one person says that, let's be friends or sends a friend request, it shouldn't be a problem.
mhm.
It shouldn't be a problem because, again, if you guys are dating each other and no one else, what is the issue? If you have nothing to hide, what is the issue? So does social media matter in essence? No. But does it matter? Yeah, because why not? What's the big deal? And if it's what's the big deal, then again, what's the big deal? It should be on the table.
100%. Well, y'all know my thoughts on it. It is not social media, it is a person.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is grown. You are responsible for your own behavior and how you interact. A cheater is a cheater. A
Mm-hmm.
narc is a narc. A manipulator is a manipulator. You're going to be who you are, right? With or without
Mm-hmm.
social media. Before social media, it was inappropriate relationships with the lady at the stove, inappropriate relationships with the lady in the church, at work, and whatever it is, or the man, right? Or the man. So it is the person for me. It's always the person. It's never the method or the mode of communication. So I think this was a great conversation. If you are watching, if you made it all the way to the end, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments, drop your experiences in the comments. If you have a question for any of us, go ahead and drop that. Of course, subscribe so that you can get more episodes. And as we close, well, I drank a lot this episode. Feels
Well,
this
come
episode
on, Ty.
had me on one. Every time I was like, But let's raise our glasses, ladies. Cheers. More life, more love, more great experiences. And
Cheers.
I'll see y'all in the next
Definitely.
episode.